hooking up and tracking down. Oh, yeah. Welcome to the Hooking Up and Tracking Down show. I'm Ranger Boat Pro Staffer Steve Graff. James E. Hester, the radio sportsman, will not be with us today. James is on a sales meeting over in Mississippi, and we all know about them sales meetings. He's supposedly learning how to sell, but I don't know if James is accomplishing that or not. But anyhow, he's trying to find out what's the latest and greatest in the hunting and fishing world and what's going to be hot this next year. James and I will be at ICAST this coming July, I think 12th through the 17th. We will be at ICAST in Las Vegas again, doing a live show from there, and seeing what's coming out for 2012. And always a great experience. Look forward to that each and every year. This segment is brought to you by Commercial Power Equipment of Shreveport, Bayou Outdoor Super Center of Bossier City, Honda Yamaha Village of Natchitoches, and Lou's Rod and Reels. Sitting in today for James E. Hester is none other than Coach Ronnie Bickham. Coach, how you doing?
What's going on, man?
Good to have you, man.
Got another great day out here at Sam Rayburn Lake, bro.
We're sitting here with microphones and headsets, and we ought to be out there wetting a hook.
I mean, I got the itch right now to get out there, I'm telling you.
And we got the man right here beside us that could take us out and show us exactly what we need to be doing. Mr. Tommy Martin, former BASS Bassmaster Classic champion.
You know, I don't know what part of this deal is. You know, I got my boat right over there. He could take us out after the show. You know that?
Yeah, I've got time if he's got time.
I'm telling you, I guarantee you I got time. Sounds good to me.
Thank you, Mr. Tommy. Thanks for joining us. We're going to get to Mr. Tommy here in just a little bit, folks, and we'll go over what's on today's show. Today we've got a really good show. Mr. Tommy Martin's going to come on here and talk about the new GPS lake maps that he's behind. He's got a new system come out that is worked in conjunction with it works for both Loran's and Humminbird, but it's worked in conjunction with Navionics mapping systems, and it's going to be a pretty neat deal. You need to stay tuned for that. We'll do that in the first segment. Then we got Mr. Bob Seeley, who is never short on words, Coach. He's always got something to say.
Listen, I'm telling you, and just ask him, and you better have some time devoted to your answer.
Well, let me tell you, we had him on last week. I devoted 2 segments to him, and he took 4. So
that's exactly right.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I was perfectly happy with that because he's very entertaining. He's got so many stories. I'm sure he's probably got some stories on Mr. Tommy we might have to get him to tell. Or Mr. Tommy may have some stories on Mr. Bob. That may be the other way around. But anyway,
well, you know, he's such a promoter. You know, I mean, he can promote, and that's the reason he's been so successful with this big bass splash, big bass classic that's been here for years and years. He's just such a promoter, and so it's going to be another great time here on Sam Rayburn in this big bass splash.
Exactly, and that's this week. Those of you that are out there listening and our viewing audience, we're at Sam Rayburn Humphrey Pavilion today, covering Bob Seeley's Big Bass Splash. It's registration day for Bob Seeley's turn. He's setting up. All the vendors are here setting up right now, and you got everything from hamburger stands to bait and tackle. Humminbird's got a display here. You've got Legend Boats are here. You got several people here. If you want to come over, is there a better place, Coach, to come enjoy just a day of fishing, or really 3 days of fishing for the family? It's just a family event, isn't it?
It really is. And speaking of that hamburger, we just tried one.
Yeah,
they're pretty good. So I'd recommend coming out and trying some of the things out here this week. The next 3 days is going to be a lot of people, a lot of fun, and it looks like we may have some great weather. The wind's a little up today, but I think tomorrow the wind's supposed to settle a little bit. It's going to be some big fish caught.
Well, you know, it's one of them deals, and I'm sure Mr. Tommy will attest to this. You be careful what you ask for when you say wind on Rayburn. You want a little bit of wind, but you got to be careful what you ask for over here.
Boy, that's the truth.
Because it can rock and roll on this body of water, can't it? All right. And the fourth segment today, I'm going to talk a little bit about our product sponsors. Coach, I continue to pick up just one product sponsor. We're picking up a lot of new product sponsors. As we speak, we're just continuing to. That's one area of our show that's continuing to grow is our product sponsors. So I'm going to give them a little bit of time today. We'll also continue with Bob Seeley. Bob Seeley will be on. In hour 2, we got all kind of news and announcements. They got a Texas High School State Championship bass tournament, Coach.
Now, I hadn't heard of that one.
Now, you're an old football coach over here in Texas, and by the way, folks, Coach is the all-time winningest coach of the 90s, and he won 2 state titles, was state runner-up one time at Paul Pewitt High School. And, Coach, can you imagine coaching a high school fishing team? You'd probably get a football coaching, wouldn't you?
I'm telling you, this I might go back if they'd hire me as a bass coach, but I don't know. The way I've been catching fish lately, Steve, I'm having my 0-10 season.
That's all right. It'll get better, Coach. That's what they say. It'll get better. We got an interview. Hopefully, now Bob's trying to round up a lady, Coach. Mr. Tommy, Emily Smith. She's the oldest angler to ever fish Bob City. 102 years old, guys.
Good, great.
100? Can you imagine?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's my hero there. I'd like to be fishing at 102.
I told Coach this morning, Tommy, I said, that just gives us hope that we've got a lot of fishing left in us.
Well, I thought I was doing good, Steve, at 70. That trumps what I got.
Yeah, mine too.
Oh, man. And then in segment 7, we got some BASS. Of course, the Bassmaster Elite Series is taking place at Toledo Bend. And I'm just going to say this. If you're not coming to Rayburn and fishing this, I expect you folks to be over. Go to Toledo Bend. Go see the folks over at Toledo Bend. Go watch the Bassmaster Elite Series. It's the best of the best. The big-time guys are in town, and let's go over and support that because we want them to come back. And if we don't go over and support that, they may not come back. And we want them to be just as happy as they were when they had the Classic in Shreveport 2 years ago. And by the way, it's coming back next year, and it's going to be better than ever again.
Well, after we talk about Tommy's GPS system, which really I'm pretty fired up about watching a little of that, we may pick his brain a little bit about this Elite Series over on Toledo Bend.
Yeah, I asked him what it's going to take to maybe win that thing. In segment 8, we got the best times to hunt or fish. We'll also do another product sponsor. Thank you. And again, hey, if you missed last week's show, by the way, we're now archiving on kwkhonline.com. You can get caught up on the latest in outdoor news. If you missed last week's show or the week before, you can go online at kwkhonline.com, check it out, play it again. And you can also check us out at hookandtrackradio.com as well as Facebook. Now, Coach, I don't know if you're Facebooking, or Mr. Tommy, I don't know if you're Facebooking. James set me up to Facebook. I'm not one of these electronic communications guys. My cell phone is waterproof, and it doesn't even, I have to, it's very difficult for me to even text message on it. But I decided to let James set me up on Facebook, and I don't even, it's got stuff on there. Do you like this? I just don't understand all that. I guess I'm too old for all that.
Well, I ignore all that, but I do have a lot of Facebook people, especially San Antonio people, have spread out all over the country, and I get Facebook from all those, and you know how it's going to get you in trouble every now and then. I'm going to tell you, when you get on, it's going to get you in trouble because one of my old girlfriends from years ago found me. That
Here we go.
And so you can't hide if you're on Facebook. All these old football players I've had, when some of them are pretty old now, they find you, and Facebook is really a magic situation for digging up old things in the past.
Girlfriends.
I'm telling you, whether you want to or not.
But I hope Miss Ruth ain't listening.
Well, she clicked her picture and said, well, I guess you did all right then, didn't you? So, anyway, my old girlfriend's put on a little weight, I think, over the.
Hey, well, I don't see. I was 165 ringing wet when I graduated, and of course I'd give anything to weigh 165 again. But I'm about
me too.
I'm about 235 right now. But anyhow, if you'd like to email James and I, radiosportsman@yahoo.com or slipsinker@yahoo.com, and Danny Fox back in the studio running the board, and he's trying to tell us it's time to take a break, guys. So when we come back, we're going to have Mr. Tommy Martin talking about the GPS lake map system that he's fixing to introduce to us, and something that's kind of the hottest thing right now, Coach. We're going to promote the heck out of this because this is a big deal out here. I'm excited about it. You're listening to Hooking Up and Tracking Down on AM 1130 KWKH.